Listen to me closely. I don't care how many times you've fallen. I don't care how bad it's gotten. And I definitely don't care what the world thinks of you right now. What I care about is that you don't give up. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Because quitting is easy. That's why it's common. That's why most people do it. It takes no courage to walk away. It takes no backbone to blame the world. But to stay in the fight, to crawl forward when your legs are shaking, to breathe through the storm when everything around you is collapsing, that takes something greater than strength. It takes spirit. And you, yes, you watching this, you have that spirit inside of you. Even if it's buried under disappointment, even if it's bruised by past mistakes, it's still there. Let me ask you something real. Have you ever had that moment where you're staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m., wondering how you're going to make it through tomorrow? Where your heart feels heavy and your chest feels tight and nothing seems to make sense? We all have. And those moments, they're not your breaking point. They're your building point. You think the pain is punishment? It's preparation. It's the fire that forges resilience. It's the pressure that creates your strength. It's the silence that teaches you to roar on your own. Stop measuring your worth by how easy your life looks. Real progress isn't made when it's convenient. Real power is built in the grind, in the hidden hours, when no one's clapping and you're still showing up. So let me ask you again, with everything in me, what are you going to do with that fire still left inside of you? Because it's there. I promise you, it's there. And you've come too far to only come this far. You've survived heartbreak. You've pushed through failure. You've heard no more times than you can count. And still, you're standing. Don't you dare underestimate what that says about you. You are stronger than your past. You are bigger than your fears. You are more powerful than your circumstances. And if you decide right now, not tomorrow, not next week, but right now, that you will not give up, there is not a force in this world that can stop you. Not the doubt, not the pain, not the delay. You've got this. Now show the world what happens when someone refuses to quit. Number 1, the struggle is the signal, not the stop sign. You know what most people misunderstand? They think that when life gets hard, it means they're going the wrong way. They take resistance as a rejection. They take struggle as a sign to surrender. But the truth is, struggle is not the stop sign. It's the signal. It's life telling you, you're moving, you're evolving, keep going. Because nothing great has ever come without resistance. The caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly in comfort. It fights its way out of the cocoon. The seed doesn't rise in silence. It breaks the ground violently, desperately reaching for the sun. And so must you. Have you ever been in that place where everything feels like a fight? Where each step forward feels like pushing against a wall that won't budge? That's not a sign to quit. That's the very moment that defines who you become. Growth isn't smooth. It's painful. It's messy. It's uncomfortable. But that discomfort, that's your teacher. That's your trainer. That's your truth. So let me ask you again. Are you treating struggle like a barrier? Or are you treating it like the breakthrough it was meant to be? Are you giving up when it gets heavy? Or are you getting stronger under the weight? Because the fight you're in right now, it's not there to break you. It's there to build you. The pressure, the resistance, the chaos, it's shaping you. And if you run from it, you'll never know the version of you that was born to rise through it. Struggle is not the end of your path. It's the start of your purpose. The people who build legacies, who create change, who live with strength, they're not the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who refused to bow down when it got hard. Struggle is the signal. So lean in, rise up, and keep moving. Number 2, pain is temporary, but quitting is permanent. Let's be real for a moment. Pain hurts. Pain drains you. It clouds your mind. It makes everything feel heavier than it should. You might be right there right now, mentally worn down, emotionally frayed, physically exhausted from carrying burdens you didn't ask for. But let me say this clearly. Pain is temporary. It's real, but it won't last forever. What does last forever is the decision you make in response to it. When you quit, when you let go of something because it hurts, that decision echoes. It lives in your memory. It shows up in your doubts. It haunts your what ifs. What if I had just pushed one more day? What if I had just stood up one more time? What if I was this close to my breakthrough and never knew it? Pain has a shelf life. Quitting doesn't. Quitting plants regret, and regret grows every day. Here's what you have to understand. Every setback isn't a sentence, it's a setup. Every delay is teaching you endurance. Every failure is building your wisdom. You were never promised a smooth ride, but you were given the ability to fight through the storm. You can survive heartbreak. You can survive betrayal. You can survive failure after failure, but you cannot build a life of strength if you keep laying the bricks of surrender. You weren't made to quit. You were made to rise, even if it takes time, even if it takes tears, even if it takes everything you've got left. So next time the pain hits, and it will, don't panic, don't retreat, don't collapse, pause, breathe, reset, then move forward. Because that pain, it's not permanent, but the legacy you're building, that's worth everything. Number 3, no one's coming to save you, but you can still rise. Let's be real for a second, brutally real. No one's coming to save you. No hero, no miracle, no shortcut. Nobody is going to show up with a perfect plan, with perfect timing, and lift you out of your struggle. And that's not something to mourn, it's something to wake you up. Because the truth is, if you're waiting for permission, if you're waiting for someone to notice how much potential you have, how much you've suffered, how much you deserve, you might wait forever. The world isn't obligated to reward your pain, but you are obligated to respond to it, not by breaking, but by building. You want change? Then get uncomfortable. You want success? Then stop wishing and start working, even when nobody's clapping, even when it feels like no one sees you. Because real growth? It's born in those quiet hours when you're working in silence, when you're getting up again while the rest sleep, when you're choosing discipline over distraction. You think you're powerless? Let me tell you something. You're powerful when you finally accept responsibility. When you say, this life, this dream, this mountain, it's mine to climb. No excuses, no rescues. And yes, that road is lonely sometimes. Yes, it gets heavy. But you'll be surprised at how strong you become when you stop waiting and start acting. You may not have a perfect plan. You may not have all the answers. But you have breath in your lungs and fire in your soul, and that's enough to begin. This is your life. So stop standing in the shadows hoping. Start stepping into the light choosing. You might be down. You might be doubted. But you're not done. No one's coming to save you. But you don't need saving. You need unleashing. Number 4, your mind quits before your body does. Let's talk about the battlefield where most dreams die, not in the world, but in the mind. Before the body ever breaks, the mind taps out. It starts with a whisper. This is too hard. I can't handle this. It's not worth it. And if you're not careful, that whisper becomes your truth. But listen to me. Your mind is not the authority. It's not the final word. It's a tool. And like any tool, it can either build you or break you, depending on how you use it. So let me ask you, how many times have you surrendered to a lie before testing your limits? How many times have you walked away, not because you were done, but because your mind convinced you that you were? body can endure more than you think. The heart can recover. The soul can regenerate. But the mind, it has to be trained. You have to teach it discipline. You have to flood it with truth until the lies drown. You have to stand guard at the gates of your thoughts and challenge every limitation it tries to sell you. When your mind says, "You're too tired," you say, "But I'm not finished." When it screams, "Give up," you whisper, "Try one more time." Because every time you do, you prove to yourself that you are not a victim of your thoughts. You are the commander of your actions. Let the fear be there. Let the doubt show up. But don't let either one make your decisions. Push one more rep. Take one more step. Speak one more truth over your life. Because every time you override the voice of defeat, you build the voice of a warrior. You're not soft. You're not weak. You're not broken. You're just learning what it means to fight. And next time your mind says it's over, look in the mirror and say, "No, it's not. I'm just getting warmed up." Number 5, the breakthrough always comes after the breakdown. This is the truth nobody puts on posters. The part of the journey nobody likes to talk about. The breakdown. The nights when your pillow is soaked with doubt. The days when your reflection doesn't even look like you. When it feels like life is laughing in your face, like your best efforts are met with silence and you wonder, is this ever going to change? That moment right there is sacred because it's right before the shift. It's when you've been stripped of pride, of comfort, of easy wins. It's when the surface level confidence burns off and all that's left is the core, your spirit, raw and real. You won't get a warning, no fireworks, no next level alert. Just pressure, frustration, and fatigue. But listen closely. The breakdown is not the end, it's the test. It's life asking, how bad do you want it? Most people quit there. They walk away right before it turns. They throw in the towel when they were just one rep, 1 hour, one choice away from everything changing, but not you. You're still here, still breathing, still willing to get back up. That means something. That means you're close. Because the breakthrough isn't loud, it's quiet. It creeps in like a whisper. It shows up in the form of a small shift, a new idea, an opportunity, a door you didn't see before. But you only get to see it if you stayed long enough in the fire without burning out. So keep pushing, keep believing, keep choosing to show up, even if it's messy, even if it's slow, even if it hurts. Trust the pain, it's shaping you. Trust the delay, it's preparing you. Trust the silence, it's making space for your roar. Because the world doesn't hand victories to those who ask, it hands them to those who endure. And if you keep going, the world will have no choice but to make room for you. So never give up. Not because it's easy, because it won't be, but because you are worth every second of the fight. Because your future is still out there, waiting to be claimed. Because your story is still unfolding and this chapter isn't where it ends. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need all the answers. You need one powerful thing, the decision to keep going. And every time you rise instead of run, every time you stay when it would be easier to walk away, you're proving to yourself and the world that you're not finished. You're building the life you were born for.